In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to do a set teleportation. So this would be if you stand on a certain object or you interact with a button, let's say, and then that teleports you to a very specific place. This won't be showing you how to sort of teleport a certain amount of units ahead of you or upwards or whatever, but the techniques are pretty much the same, so you should be able to translate that if that's what you need. But I'll be showing you when you interact with an object within a space, then you teleport to this new space, which you can change dynamically within your level design. So first things first, we need to set up that blueprint. So what we need to do is right click just wherever you'd like to store it and make a blueprint class, and then we're going to make an actor. I'm going to call this BP teleporter, and then open that up. And then I want to set up some visuals. So in the end, you'd probably want to have some nice models for this, or one model particularly. But I'm just going to be using primitive shapes just to show you this. So if we add, and I'm just going to do a cylinder. So this is going to be like the teleporter pad kind of thing. Put that to where it looks sensible. So we've got that there. So I'm going to change the name of that to mesh. And then I'm going to make a sphere collision. Put that up to 50, then to maybe 100 on that. So a fairly reasonable area around this button is then going to be used as the detector for the player. So I'm going to rename the sphere to player detect. And then if I select the scene route again, I'm going to add a sphere. So this doesn't actually matter. So you can have anything here, but a sphere is, I'll be showing you how what it's going to look like, but a sphere is a really good thing when you're in your level editor to see where something might be going. So if I do sphere here, and then I'm going to name this teleport lock, so teleport location. Scale this down a little bit, so I'm going to half that size. And then just put it a little bit out, disconnected from it, just so I know that that's what the location is. We want to change a couple of settings for this teleport location, so you might want to change some of the stuff about the mesh, but the important thing is, first of all, we want to take off all collisions for this. We just want this as a location reference. So no collision, so scroll down to collision presets, click no collision, and then we also want to tick hidden in-game. So I'll scroll down a little bit more and then tick hidden in game. This will mean that it's in the editor when we're making the level designs, it's going to be there, but when we actually play, it's invisible. So when the player's playing it, they won't know, but we can see it in the editor, so we know exactly where the player's going to be teleporting to. So now we've got the stuff in the viewport set up, we can then start doing the code. So if I just delete all that, make it clean. So what we want to do, player detect, scroll down and add a begin overlap and an end overlap. Then what we want to do, bottom left, variables, we want to make a new variable, a boolean, called can teleport. So we're going to say, is the player in this area, so can we start teleporting the player? So we want to, off of the other actor, we want to do cast to, and then whatever your player's blueprint's called. Mine's BP third person character. I'm using the third person template, so that's my character. Yours might be named something different, so make sure you're doing it for what your name is. And then if that cast is successful, we want to set can teleport to true. So we don't need to actually do anything from this. We're just saying, is the thing that's overlapping the player detect, is it the player? And if it is, then we can teleport. Then what we want to do is, when it's ended the overlap, we want to make sure that you can't teleport. So that's set up the way it detects the player. Then what we want to do is do an interaction. So just to show you quickly, from the default template, I've made a new input action called interact, and then put the input as F. So what I'm going to do then is do interact, I'm going to do the enhanced action events, and then from started, so triggered, it will as I keep it held down, it'll do like a tick system. But I want to do it just when I press F, it does the action. So what we want to do is get can teleport from a branch. So we only want to do it when we can teleport. Then we want to teleport the player to the location of the teleport location. So if we can teleport, then we want to cast to third person character. And then we want to get player pawn, or you can do get player controller, just something that's referenced within the third person character. So pawn or controller would usually work for this. So that should work. And then we want to set actor location. So make sure it's set actor location, not set relative location or anything like that. We want to set actor location, that'll be the whole blueprint, to a new location, which will be this teleport location, and then we get world location, and then link that in. So then, hopefully, actually, one step missed. So if we click class defaults, and then just at the top, just search input, and then you'll see this. So if we don't tick auto receive input, this won't work. So what we need to do is class defaults and then set it to player 0. So as long as you're playing as a single player game, you will always be player 0. So just click that, and then this input will then work for this teleport. So it should be. So in my game, I've made a little drop area, so we get stuck in a normal game. But if we then put in this teleporter, so I'm going to put this to the side a little bit, and then teleport location. So click on the blueprint, and then you'll see in the details panel, you can see each individual aspect of the blueprint. We want to go to the teleport location, and then we can move that individual component. So we then want to move it to sort of across the gap. So if we do this and then press F, it teleports us. But if you're wanting it where you can move it around, you can move there, and then it drops the player in. So this is an entirely dynamic system. So then if we put in another teleporter, so it could be you have like two NPCs that are one of them's trying to tell the truth to the player, one of them's trying to trick the player. So then one of the teleporters is correct, one of them's a lie. So then if we do this, then it takes us to the right location. Whereas if we do this, then it drops into the hole. So this is like a dynamic system where you can have certain teleporters leading you to very specific areas.